This playthrough is rated M for mature.
It's just one city, after all. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. More bonus content. This time we're going to do one of the other endings of the game. So the original ending I did for the game, at least in my initial playthrough, was the Good Fortune ending, which is where you were able to convince Kuan Yin to leave of her own accord without any sacrifices, and everything goes hunky-dory for Ahoy and the surrounding areas. However, there were a couple other choices we could have made despite us unlocking the best ending. Let's see what happens if we want that fortune that she promised us before in the original ending to tempt us. Let's see what happens with that. So this is after we've beaten her the second time. You're able to make a save after you beat your first version, so that way you can just go straight to the second boss fight. And this time, everyone actually popped up into the second boss fight this time, instead of like it just being Ractor and Gaichu. I'm still surprised I was able to beat her with just the two guys, but anyway, so I earned an audience with you, Queen. This man did not. She steeples her fingers, their hardened tips clicking against one another with a sound like grinding teeth. You're a bold meat, but you're also correct. We do not break our promise, and you have earned some modicum of respect. Kuan Yin turns her full attention back to you, and the smile widens. You can feel it deep in her gut. It tunnels into you like a lamprey leaves you feeling empty and cold. In truth, you amuse us. Your persistence in the face of the inevitable is a pleasure to behold. And so we have decided to grant you a rare honor. We offer you a deal. Go on, I'm listening. Our terms are simple. We want you to leave. Leave the chattel here to their fates. Forget about them. Acknowledge that they are ours, and then think on them no more. She gestures towards the door that you came in from. Leave the walled city now, and do not return, except that it is our domain, now and forevermore. In exchange, we will grant you 14 years of good fortune, and your every wish fulfilled, and your every desire granted. A charmed life from the moment you leave to the day that our deal elapses. You can do this? The Yama King crackles. With a wave of our hand, we have swum the waters of fortune since the beginning of time. It is trivial matter for us to divert them. So we accept our offer. Will you take the deal? So in the original game, you could do the counter proposal, and if you did everything right, you could do that. However, however, in this case, we want good fortune. Screw the city. It didn't do anything for us. We don't care about it. Our allies are going to be on board, right? Yes, in exchange for 14 years of good luck, I'll lead the walled city to you. You cannot do this, Michael. You cannot trust it. The builder disapproves. I'm musing. He is responsible for all the suffering that you have seen. This place would not exist at all were it not for him. And yet he means something to you. You would not have followed him here if he did not. I'm only here to help myself. Raymond or Edward or whatever his name is can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. You can see the pain glittering in his eyes, and the old man says nothing. He shifts his gaze to the ground. In that case, we will grant you a boon, a special reward for your willingness to listen to reason. We will abandon our claim to the builder. We will not take him as a meal or a slave. Instead, you will kill him, here and now. Release him from his pain. I suppose that's a merciful death is better than eternity of enslavement. Duncan shoulders his rifle. No fucking way, Pikel. You aren't doing this. I won't let you kill Raymond, and I sure as shit won't let you give 100,000 people like us to this monster. You know what we offer, how little you have to do to achieve it. Kill the builder and walk away, and our reward will be legendary. Legend? Point dairy. Fate herself will smile upon you. Spurn our offer, and you will suffer in ways that defy mortal comprehension. Choose. And you still get a choice. They give you like a last minute. They're like, are you sure you want to do this? You're like, I accept your terms, Queen. I will do what you ask. Like hell you will. His finger tightens on the trigger and all hell breaks loose. Stop this now. Bad move. Yeah, so what happens is, weirdly enough, I think it might depend on who's in your party, who gets priority for conversation. So if you, well, I mean, actually, no, everyone has to be here. Never mind, I was thinking of something else. So, yeah, Duncan, the original characters, Duncan, Gavin, Isabel, immediately turn on you. It's weird that there's no dialogue for them, or Isabel, or Ractor and Gaichu, because Ractor and Gaichu join you. They help you, even though they don't say anything about it, which I But yeah, Raymond, he's really easy to kill, so might as well wait for him at the last second. Yeah, Raymond's got like 10 HP. Gobbet's got 60. Duncan has 80. And Isabel has 60. And yeah, we just have to kill him. That's pretty much it. So, so this shouldn't take too long at all. Especially since we get first strike, so. Yeah, especially with like Ractor, Crochet here and everything like that. And just have Ractor buff up Crochet quite a bit. Yeah, this is a pretty depressing ending if you go all selfish. Oops, I actually didn't mean to hit the heal. I didn't need to do that. Oh well, whatever. There goes Duncan. Bye, Duncan. Alright, let's take out Gobbet. I mean, technically, Gobbet should probably be taken out first because she's the biggest threat. Because of her summoning and everything like that. Isabel does have her, you know, grenades, but, I mean... I guess I could have Gaichu go after... Yeah, let's finish off Gobbet. Yeah, one critter, so... Yeah, she's in cover, so... Not close enough to do the... Alright, Gaichu. Start stabbing her. Ah, she decided to use her gun instead. Alright. Let's, do that. Buffy up a bit more. And then try to blast her if we can. Yeah, I'm just going to finish Raymond off. I missed with the 99%. Even at this point in the game mocks me. Oh my god, 84%. Just hit her. Wow. That is dumb. I hate it. There we go. Golly. This game is just mocking me. Like, seriously. 99%, and I missed. Okay, that would have missed because there was like a 50 or something like that. God, I can't believe I'm missing. Good lord. Apparently, technically, we can help Kuan Ya, but no. Or Kuan Yi, I mean. There we go. As the smoke clears, Kuan Ya's musical voice. Okay, another proofreading error. Fills your ears. The sound of it is incongruously beautiful. Let the meaningless of the death serve to seal our arrangement. Leave this place, pike or boulder shoulder. There's nothing here for you now but sorrow and pain. Step beyond the boundaries of our queendom and reap the benefits of our benevolence. 14 years of good fortune, just as we promised. I'll hold you to that. You will not need to. We honor our promises. Now go and do not return. This place is ours, now and forever.
Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story. That if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Sometimes you can't fix the past. Some stories just don't end well. Except for those few who profit from the misery of others. And even then, it's just a matter of time before the past catches up with you.
You depart from the Prosperity Chamber and are instantly caught up in a wave of refugees fleeing for their lives, struggling through the panicked wave of humanity. You are able to retrace your steps and eventually reach Hawaii. Although the typhoon has passed, the scene is wet and chaotic. The newly homeless crowd the streets, dazedly wondering, searching for missing loved ones and nursing injuries. Relief workers are already on the scene, providing blankets and medical aid. Rescue personnel carry the stunned and wounded to safety. The entire area has been cordoned off by HKPF, while knight-errant officers and military peacekeepers force attempt to maintain order. But yeah, everyone dies. It even shows a unique, that unique ending scene with Raven basically berating us, even though he's dead. And seeing the scene of Duncan, Gobbet, and Isabel dead before the Yama King. That's intense. Kind of like the ending in Dragonfall, where you could join the Good Doctor, and it's actually the same thing. You end up killing. Well, it depends on who you bring with you, but I believe most of the main companions will betray you if you do that. So you have to kill them in that game as well. I need to remind myself to go back and do the bonus episode of that. I kept forgetting to do that, so apologies for those who watched that one and wondering why I hadn't shown the other endings for that one. Although the typhoon has passed, the scene is wet and chaotic. I think most of this is pretty much the same. I think the difference is going to be the dialogue because of the walled city being destroyed. Let's see. I might skim through a lot of this because, like I said, I don't remember every variation on the dialogue, so... Okay. Chemical leak. Yeah. Yeah, they just say it's a drug lab. It's the same. Let's see. There's no illegal drug spill. I'm shocked. He laughs sardonically and continues packing. Of course there's no illegal drug spill. Of course there was a line of corporal crap. Everything you see, everything you've been taught, every official you let, all bought and paid for. Yeah, it's the same thing. A mess that Josephine Saint never cleaned up. Why am I not surprised? No one ever remembers that she built this hole in the first place. Not that it would matter. Joe Sang holds this town by the balls. It wouldn't surprise me if she was running some kind of test in the walled city. It's like their little petri dish. Their test food additives, body modifications, pharmaceuticals, whatever some junior executive can dream up. Wouldn't surprise me the whole thing blew up in their face because of how our low standards either. Nothing surprises me anymore. I've been reporting for 20 years, pal. It's getting so I can smell cover up while driving to a location like this. Most of them involve me saying, we may never know what'll ever happen. What about the truth? The truth isn't my business. Ad revenue is my business. News is nothing more than content, just like the new Mamie Kenyon Flesh BTL, Urban Brawl broadcast, or Marion Mercurial Simpsons experience. Everyone on this island knows that my news service is just a mouthpiece of the Executive Council. Hell, if you look close enough, you'll even find that it's owned by the member of the Executive Council. Okay, that's the same thing. Let's see. You're not gonna believe. Go ahead and take that. You're not gonna believe what I just went through. Tell me, Person Wiggles. I lost contact with the men I sent to the walled city with you. Gobbet and Isabel aren't answering their comlinks either. And now that these Sang assholes and government troopers all over the place, get over here and tell me what happened. I'll come when I'm ready. No response. The line's already dead. Let me double check with everyone. See, I think the dial is the same because I'm using the file where I was nice and helped everyone out. So I think it's the exact same dialogue. Because this wouldn't affect them. Yeah, huge mistake. Yeah, weirdly enough, they still get, even though despite what we do with Quan Ya, they still have the good fortune. Let's see. No. Yeah, I think it's all the same. Yeah, you were right. Okay. So that's the same. So really, from what I understand, a lot of the dial is going to be very similar to each other for minor characters because that doesn't affect them. So the only really it does sort of affect the bonus campaign. It affects the beginning of it, obviously, because of who you got with you at the time. Technically, you can beat the game without Raptor and Gaichu and still have to fight off, even though you can't hire anyone for the final mission. You can still beat Gobbet, Duncan, and Isabel by yourself. It's easier if you're like a street samurai. So you can go in the new campaign with like no party members. You can still hire people, though. Luckily, the bonus campaign you can hire people to help you. in that one at least. So there's a way to get through that campaign without playing it by yourself. But in this, yeah, it'd be tough. So let's see what Auntie has to say about Gobbin and Isabel being, and Duncan's dead too, by the way. So as you enter, Kyla Chang is giving instructions to Strangler Bao, who nods enthusiastically. She looks over at you and holds up her hand. Wait. And send Wong and Ho to snatch some of those medical supplies off the relief trucks. With all the excitement, nobody's watching them at all. She nods to herself, grimacing in satisfaction. There'll be a big black market for them over the next few weeks. Good thinking, Miss Chang. Bao lifts a finger to his ear to transmit the orders. When he sees you waiting, his eyes narrow, sharp slits of malice, but he continues his work. Wiggles, I figured you were dead. Last I heard, my soldiers had found you and everyone was heading into the walled city. Then things got out of control. She takes a pull on her thin black cigar. Where are my people? What the hell happened? We got separated in the walled city. Found out later they were killed. Her eyes are hard little black buttons. Is this how you treat my resource? Soldiers die. That's what they're there for. No, soldiers are for killing the other guy. She takes another drag off her cigar, exhales the smoke through her nose. When your soldiers die, it's called losing. She taps her ash on the floor. Well, they knew the risk. They had a shot at moving up and they missed. Forget them. Bigger problems like customers and tents streaming out of the walled city, screaming for their lives like the HKPF and those Sang security ship wheels swarming the place. She drops the stub of her cigar in the ashtray. Now tell me what happened to the walled city. Or do I have to get an Isoltine torch and ask nicely? Raymond Black accidentally summoned a demon god. I made a deal with her. Kylie Chang's eyes get big at that. Sounds dangerous. What kind of demon? A Yamakane, Quan Ya, the queen with 1,000 teeth. She picks up her bottle and foul spirits and studies her label. Her rusty, mean voice drops low. I know the Yamakangs. My grandmother used to try to scare me with stories about them. I guess she thought she was teaching me something by scaring the shit out of me. She chuckled softly. I remember one Yama, specifically Fu Meng, the serpent of the setting sun. Oh yes, Fu Meng promised wealth and influence for those willing to do what was necessary to take it. Her voice turns wistful. The story of Fu Meng spoke to me. All he asked for in return were 44 hearts pulled from the chest of those closest to you while they were still alive. Hearts from random victims when due, so those who took Fu Meng's bargain would befriend others before taking their hearts, turning their entire network into a list of victims. Yes, Fu Meng spoke to me, but I didn't listen. Yama Kings make hard deals, Wiggles. Cursed deals. She frowns deeply and her words come out slowly. What kind of deal did you make? I let her have the walled city in exchange for 14 years of good fortune. Kyla Chang stares at you for a long time. Then she smiles, her serpentine smile. All right, Wiggles, I'll assume you're telling the truth. Of course, I'll send some men in to investigate, but I have the feeling you're telling the truth. Too much chaos, too many people around here having nightmares for it not to be. So 14 years of good fortune. Her black eyes dance. From what I've seen, good fortune rubs off, and I want a taste. My guess is that you're going to want partners for whatever you think of next. As you can see, I can be a useful ally. We'll see, kindly. We'll see. Of course, my dear. I'm sure you have plenty to think about. She picks up a mahjong tile, slowly turns it between her fingers. Now tell me, what did you trade in return? It wasn't just the walled city. Not personal enough for a demon. You had to give something up. Raymond, Gunshow, Gobbet, Isabel. The Triad scratches her chin with a smirk. You play for keeps, don't you? But some of those people were mine and not yours to bargain with. Her eyes glisten with cunning. No matter, we're partners, and partners share the resources. Strangler Bao leans in, finger to his ear. My apologies, Miss Chang, but one of the men you sent with the brothers into the walled city is still alive. He stumbled into Wong and Ho as they were pulling medical supplies off of a lorry. Chang turns to you with an edge in her voice. At least one came back alive. Strangler Bao lowers his head, listens to his earpiece again. Our man says that Wu Lun Fat is dead. He got shot up by the HKPF inside the walled city. Bao lifts his head and makes eye contact with the Triad boss. He almost salivating with avarice. Our man saw it with his own eyes, Miss Chang. That sounds good. Does it make up for your dead soldiers, Auntie? It wipes the slate clean, my darling. Oh, yes. You see, Wu Lun Fat was my superior in the Yellow Lotus at 438. Kyla Chang's black button eyes sparkled with satisfaction, born of malice. They repeated that again. Anyway, he was also a pig. Well, you're a bitch, so what's the... Anyway. She looks up at the pillar of meat. She calls an enforcer. Tell our friend Wiggles what that means, Mr. Bao. A wolfish smile spreads across her face, and her eyes squeeze into crescent moons of pleasure. You say it slow so I can savor it. The death of Will Fat has opened a spot for you to move up, madam. You could be the next 438. Bao smiles. The effect is chilling. The gods help those who seize opportunities. Mr. Bao, put every man we have on this. Kylie Chang runs her hand over a stack of mahjong tiles, gathering Apollo to herself. Spread the word. All debts to the Yellow Lotus are suspended for citizens of the walled city until order is restored. Tell them I have medical supplies too, and there'll be no charge for them until the crisis is over. Things seem to be going your way, Auntie. They do indeed, my sweet. I may not have brought Josephine Tsang down, but I've got my career going again. She grabs her bottle and unscrews the cap with her thumb. Your career too, Mr. Bao. You may be my new straw sandal. Good partners support one another. Bao lowers his head in respect. You have proven that, Miss Chang. This calls for a drink. The soon-to-be 438 pours 2 shots, and the stink of kerosene stabs your nose like switchblades. She hands a glass to Bao, torches it with her own, and holds it there. Your loyalty and clear-headedness have proven immensely valuable, Mr. Bao. You are an effective ally, and I wish you great health and good fortune. They down the foul substance in one gulp. Congratulations, kids. You both had it coming to you. Bao stares at you over the rim of his glass as he drinks. Yes, it appears your fortune is changing too, Wiggles, in a big way, because I dealt with a god to give me 14 years of good fortune. We've seen the first example of your newfound luck, haven't we? Your mysterious benefactor, the one who lifted the PB on you, which, if you played the extended campaign, we now know is Key and Lamb, which, if they had been mentioned in the main campaign, I think that would have been more of a twist, but because it's like some random new people, I don't know. But anyway, I like mysterious benefactors. I'm sure you do, especially when they prevent police snipers from inserting a tunnel into your skull. But I beat a god, so I'm fine. It must be someone powerful. I can't imagine it was Josephine Tsang after all. What would be her motivation? What would her motivations be? It's got to be someone else. Well, it's not like I made a lot of friends since we hit town. I'll tap my network then, find out if I can. Connolly pulls out another thin black cigar, and that's for later. I haven't heard most of your story. It sounds delicious. What happened to Prosperity Tower? Did you rescue Raymond Black? Did his mother wipe his memory? Well, I mean, he's dead now, so what does that matter? That's the problem with some of this is that, I mean, we got him in time. We got what we needed from him. Got what you needed from him. My, but that sounds harsh. She changes topics, apparently uninterested in hearing more. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't think they coded it right for, like, because now she acts like as if it was just a regular conversation, as if maybe Raymond's alive. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit inconsistent. Oh, well, whatever. She lights her cigar with a gleam of hunger in her shiny black eyes. While you're in Prosperity Tower, did you find the incriminating data on Josephine Tsang? Dirt, something I can use? Yeah, financial statements, the Executive Council would love to see. As I recall, you were going to back up the Union truck for this. Kindly's face is expressionless. If you have what I'm looking for, you'll be well rewarded. Start those rewards coming, then I'll let you know when you can stop. The triad boss pulls out a cred stick and waggles it in front of you. Wiggles, mind you. Data first, then you get this. That's how it works, dear. Dangle the data in front of her. I was expecting more. Her face falls. You need to manage your expectations better next time. There's a lot of Nuyen on that cred stick. You want it or not? Think I'll hang on to the intel instead. Incriminating secrets like this about a member of the Executive Council. Who knows how much I could get for this on the open market? If you have etiquette, Shadowrunner. Kindly scowls. My fault for telling you how much I wanted it. She pulls the second cred stick from a folder in her robes and adds it to the first. There, negotiations are closed. Hand it over. Have fun with that. Kindly barks a laugh at the cigar, dances in her mouth as she speaks. Now I can take the dried up old bitch to the mat. The triad boss pulls out a cred stick and tosses it to you. Should be two, but you know, whatever. The number the data reads out is big, more than twice the payout of a single Shadowrun. With this, Josephine saying days on the Executive Council are numbered. Bao, it appears that my fortunes have truly changed. She pours 2 more shots from a reeking bottle. Our partnership has become quite enriching, Wiggles. And obviously the ending changes slightly if you don't get the incriminating data, because that's completely optional. It just means she kind of gets away with it, sort of. So, in a way. She raises her glass. To my new number 1 Shadowrunner. May our partnership continue to bear fruit. Let's hope it's big fat fruit. We'll talk more about that in the morning, my darling. She reaches over and downs your drink, too. It's been a busy day. Now, before I get back to business, I must know. One of her black eyes narrows. How did you go from Western Rainbow back to the walled city, vomiting people? Raymond made a magical fortune machine, but suffered from a demon summoning glitch. Your foster father created a magical fortune machine? The Triad boss cocks her head, raising her cigar to her lips. Please tell me you have control of this device. Please tell me you brought it to me. Nah, sorry. I left. We just talked about this, lady. We let Quan Ya have the city. No, we don't have it. See what I mean? The dialogue doesn't match up sometimes. That's a pity. I'm sure there's plenty of people who could have benefited from it. Well, this business certainly proved lucrative for me. Conway Cheng studies the glowing tip of her black cigar. I'm in a prime position to be the next Yellow Lotus number 438. I've only lost 4 men, and I finally got something I can use about Josephine saying. Well, at least they mentioned the 4 men, which is basically, things seem to be working out for me, too. Oh, looks like our luck is improving. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Conway Cheng lowers her eyes and her voice softens, although maybe not in your case. The Triad boss brightens. You made quite a splash since arriving in Hong Kong, Wiggles. Many Shadowrunners completed in a very short amount of time. The reports from our clients are glowing, mostly. I say this is a beginning of a beautiful partnership. She stubs out her cigar, screws the top back on her bottle. Now get some sleep, Wiggles. You look like shit. Tomorrow we'll talk about the future. Last time you told me to go to bed, I woke up a Shadowrunner. What happens when I wake up tomorrow? We get to work, my darling. You heard Mr. Bao. Conway Cheng stares at you, her face placid. The gods help those who seize opportunities. She then turns away, dismissing you with a wave. Bao, what's the status on those medical supplies? Alright, let's talk to Gaichu and Raptor, because they're the only ones alive. So everyone else is dead. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think that scene would have been a bit more bittersweet if Goblin and Isabel had talked to during that scene, other than Duncan. I don't know. It feels a bit like they didn't, with how wordy this game is and how, and everything. It just seems like a missed opportunity. It should have been a lot more of a sad moment that you had to kill those 3, and that like maybe Isabel or Gobbet should have pleaded with you not to take the deal, like after they hear what is required of it to kill Raymond. They're like, oh, you shouldn't do that. No, but no, it's only Duncan who responds. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it seemed like a missed opportunity. So, the deck of the Big Texas is quiet. The boat feels much larger and emptier than it did a few hours ago. There's no sound, save for the creaking of wooden planks about the distant sloshing of water against the side of the hull. In the corners of the room, Gaichu and Raptor regard you silently. Finally, Raptor opens his mouth to speak. Don't let the quiet get to you, my friend. We won a great victory today. An orthodox victory, to be sure, but a great one nonetheless. Victory doesn't come into it. I did what I had to be done. I wish that the others had recognized that. It's true that they were the foolish ones. Your friends, your family, were the ones who forced you to do what you did. They were the aggressors, not you. Leave it to a psychopath to agree with you murdering your friends and family. The poor fools didn't see the enormity of the gift that you'd been offered, what it would mean to the world. The death that you visited upon Edward Sang was a gift as well. You protected him from the eternity of supernatural torment. By taking Kuan Ya's deal, you've ensured yourself a rich and successful life. Why, from this point on, you scarcely even need to try. Fate itself would conspire to pile victory into your shoulders, whether you go to the effort of earning them or not. If you kill everyone and you don't have Gaichu and Raptor, there is a scene about the boat being quiet and empty, but there's nothing more to it because you didn't hire Gaichu and Raptor, so it's more awkward. The ghoul huffs. You described a living hell. What is the appeal of a life without challenge, without struggle? I would argue that you can still challenge yourself, my friend. You can test the outer limits of this gift that you have won for yourself, see how far the reach of a demigod extends. And once you trace the outer edges of that largeness, you can channel your good fortune onto wonderful gifts for meta-humanity as a whole. Why, you can make the whole world a better place. You can care less about making the world a better place. You're just saying this to fuck with me. He blinks, taken aback. You will be, my friend. Of course I care about making the world a better. I live in it, do I not? It is my benefit to see the life on this ball of rock improve. Personally, I would suggest that you take to wandering, Wiggers. Travel the length and breadth of this great island, visiting good fortune upon those who need it most. You are masterless now, even as I am. You need not serve the likes of Conway Cheng again. Whatever you should choose to do, know that I will stand by your side. You have earned my trust and my respect. I will serve as your guardian, protector, and friend. Let's see. You're right. I'm going to milk this gift from Kuan Ya's for everything it's worth. Raptor yawns into his sleeve. With that, I'm afraid I must be off to bed. I've mostly done away with the need for sleep, but I must confess that my human frailty is catching up with me. You should do the same. You look bone tired, my friend. You aren't wrong there. I guess I could use about 14 hours of rack time. How about it then? You've learned it. Pleasant dreams. Alright, so, like before, we had to sleep. Like I said, there is extra dialogue for, too bad there's not, like, an option to, like, check everyone's bunks. To say, oh, yeah, this is what you did. You killed them or something like that, you know? Nope. I mean, not that it needs to. It's just... Oh, yeah, what about the rats? Do the rats die with Gobbet, or do they run off? You know? Like, there's so many, like, little details that aren't there. You know what I mean? Let me check the BBS and see if it has any emails that are different. Let's see. I think it might all be the same. Heavy rains, landslides. Yeah, looting. Let's see. Yeah, that's the same. Okay. Whoops. And that's the explanation for what happened. Let's see. Okay. Now that's not different. Like I said, it's not. They didn't change a whole lot of stuff if you choose that. I was just saying if there's any. Let's see if Raptor and Gaichu have any extra dialogue. I mean, they do, but if they have any different dialogue from before. Raptor eyes you impassively, wears an easy smile, but his eyes are as cold and unfeeling as Koshie's sensors. Well, my friends, quite an evening. We fought and treated with an extra-dimensional being, negotiated the fates of tens of thousands of paupers, and then traded them for more than a decade of good fortune. A rather impressive list of accomplishments, wouldn't you say? Are you kidding? Please, it's just an average Friday night for me. His teeth gleam white. Yes, my friend, of course it was. Our struggle at the walled city is over. Guess that means you can focus on other things, huh? Yes, my friend, the future. But our errand in the walled city was quite enlightening, and I'm pleased that I was a part of it. For myself, I think I'll stay in Hailoi for a time. This place is perfect for my needs. I can easily acquire any materials that I might need, and with your help, I've acquired a certain level of proficiency at evading the police. This will be a testbed for future of our species, the birthplace of a new form of life, and I will help to usher it into the new world. You know how that sounds, right? And you know what I am, you know what I can do. His smile widens. You'll be there beside me when the time comes, yes? It might be, you never know. None of us truly know anything, but I haven't frightened you off yet, and I take that as a good sign. He nods, his pearl-white smile glinting in the dim light. Be well, my friend, rest while you can. There's more looming on the horizon, more than you could possibly dream of. Yeah, it's kind of crazy just how Raptor and Gaichu are just like, well, we had to kill him. Alright. And yeah, I mean, it's because they're optional characters, and two, they don't have the same bond as Gobbet and Isabel and Duncan do to you, so they have a different mentality of it. It's always interesting when you have party members that are more morally gray, or I'm not saying all party members should be, but it's always interesting to have a group that has, like, you know, your kind of your lawful goods, but then you have that, like, random chaotic evil character that's forced to work with a group. You know, sometimes that can be interesting, depends on if it's written well or whatever. Gaichu's in the process of cleaning his cabin as you enter. Using a small hand broom, he sweeps dust and debris about into small piles, scenting your arrival. However, he pauses. Wiggles, it is not every day that one can say they fought an ancient god and won. The ghoul folds his arms across his chest as a thin smile graces his lips. It is an unbelievable story. God, I hate to live in a world where that kind of thing is a mundane occurrence. The sixth world is full of wonders. Every day brings new discoveries, or perhaps awakenings of ancient truths and beings. Someday such events may become mundane, but I would echo your sentiment. Let us hope that they do not. What will you do now, huh? Are there further mountains for you to climb? Yeah, I figure I'll stick around Hong Kong and see where life takes me, especially with the whole good fortune thing. A good plan, one that echoes my own. I have to ask, how do you feel about being part of killing an ancient god of death? We didn't actually kill her, though. So, yeah, the dialogue doesn't really fit what happened, so I feel like I could take on the world. Given what I have seen, the world might not win. You have a singular level of drive and focus, the kind of intensity rarely seen. Gaichu grins crookedly. Just let me know when you decide to topple the corporate court. I suspect I need to prepare myself if I am to keep up. I'll let you know when we get more work. Excellent. Then I think I will get to cleaning, and if you need me for anything, well, you know where to find me. So crazy that, you know, you can just... that it can end up like this. Not like this! I don't know, like I said, I think the whole being a evil bastard ending could have been done a little bit better, but oh well. You know, there's only so many limitations. But then again, this game is mainly a good deal of it is text-based, so. Your bunk on the trawler lays await, patient and seductive. It beckons with the promptness of escape. Go to sleep and end the campaign. You drop your head onto the pillow and haul the rough naval blanket over you. The big Texas rocks like a cradle, and moments later you're wrapped in the comforting arms of sleep. There are no nightmares, only shadows. As we murdered everyone to get what we wanted. The story of the walled city riots circulates local news networks for nearly a week. Few outside of Hong Kong hear about the incident, and one of those that do, even fewer care. Within the walled city, a strange new cult comes into power, reshaping the core of the massive tenement into a grand court worthy of their queen. Stories of Kuan Yin and the Yama Kings grow from urban legends to religious parables. The queen with 1,000 teeth holds sway over Kowloon walled city, and all those who trespass within its walls run the risk of capture and enslavement. After the incident of the walled city, the unbroken lucky streak that propelled Sang Mechanical Services into the limelight comes to an abrupt end. Evidence of Josephine Sang's culpability in the walled city riots, as delivered by a reliable source, is aired on the Horizon News Network, and the corporation's stock prices go into freefall. Within a year, Wujing Inc. buys out, absorbs, and dismantles the company, and Josephine Sang is quietly filed away in a corporate prison. She remains there, buried beneath walls of concrete and rebar, until she hangs herself 3 months later. Your own fortunes have never looked better. Kuan Yin lived up to her end of the bargain. Ever since you accepted her deal, fate has conspired to help you. Money flows easily. Life in the shadows quickly loses all sense of risk and challenge. You have 14 years to enjoy the fruits of your bargain. 14 years to prepare for the day when your luck finally runs out. The end of the It's Only One City ending. Now, I will do another bonus episode to show the bonus campaign, to show the... I won't show all the differences in dialogue. I'll probably show the beginning, and then I'll probably show the final mission, but I'll skip... Well, I won't skip battles, but... Or, actually, I'll try my way to just skip battles and go straight to it. Maybe show, like, whatever extra dialogue you get for having Gaichu and Rector on your team. And because I'd only be doing the story battles, it would go by a lot faster. And like I said, I might still show them off. I might just, like, when battles occur, or I might skim through the dialogue. But that's it for this ending as well. There's 2 other variations of the ending that you can get. I mentioned before. One is just killing Kuan Yin, never negotiating with her, which gives you the basic ending. And then there's a variation on the good ending. Those have some slightly different dialogue, but I don't think I'll show the bonus campaigns for those variations, because there's an extra achievement at the end of the game for if you go back, if you choose to be get your sin back, because the story kind of roughly plays the same in the bonus campaign except for dialogue choices. But there is a bonus achievement and some extra dialogue if you choose the one city ending, but you go back to Seattle with by keeping your sin on that one. So, but so yeah, but I'll leave that for a bonus episode. So that's it for now. So yeah, this is what happens when you're a heartless, jerk who wants all the good fortune to himself, and wait till it all ends, man. That's not gonna be pretty when Kuan Yin comes back or whatever. But either way, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.